Hello everyone, welcome to another video, and since we are so close to the end of the year, I think it is time for a ranking video of the Transformers. And you know, back in the day, this was about like 10 years ago, someone, I don't know who, came up with the idea of doing like a year Transformers thing. So it would be like 13 of 2013, 14 of 2014, top 15 of 2015, that kind of stuff. And that was fun for a little bit, then everyone dropped it and just made top 10s. I'm bringing it back, baby, with the top 24 of 2024. Now, this list is not comprised of specifically figures that came out this year. This list is entirely comprised of the figures that I got this year. So on this list, you might see some older lads from the past, but that's because I didn't get them back in the day. I got them this year, so they are gonna be on this list, and it's gonna be a long list, potentially a long video. Also, this is my list, my opinion, and as you know, that means that it is law. It is the only correct list, and if you think that any of these figures are wrong or other figures should have been on this list, you are the one who's wrong. And if you don't understand sarcasm, that was entirely sarcastic, because this entire list is subjective. This is my opinion, and I would like you guys to comment down below your list of your 24 figures that you got this year, or top 10, top 5. I don't really care how many figures you got, but just put them on a list and tell me in the comment section down below what your list is going to be. I'm actually curious what everyone has to say, and I know for a fact you're not going to agree with my list, because there are some figures on here that don't deserve to be on here according to your opinion, and there's definitely one figure that all of you are expecting to be on this list, and it's not. And also, one figure on this list is going to be tomorrow's review. Also, hopefully, and if I can get it right, all the reviews will be linked in the description as well. They will not have names. They will just be number 24 and all that stuff until number 1. Hopefully, I'll be able to do that, and hopefully, I won't reach the character limit of 5,000. Okay, it's probably gonna be in the description down below, so you can find all the links to the reviews down there. So with that out of the way, I think we should just get into it with 24. So coming in at number 24, we have Nemesis Leo, Convoy from Transformers Legacy Evolution. A sleeper hit, as I would like to say, because I wasn't really expecting this figure to be on this list, especially not with how soon I got him. Initially, I will say this, Magmatron, the Legacy United Commander class, was on this spot. He's been dropped because I'm not the biggest fan of that figure, and there are better figures out there. But I'm very surprised by him. However, I couldn't put him past number 24, mainly because of the kibble on his arms. While it is a cool gimmick that you can, you know, have the blades out, I guess, it is a bit kibbly, and it is a bit annoying. But outside of that, this thing is fantastic. So, 23. Coming in at number 23, we have Transformers Studio Series The Last Night Core Class Mohawk. A surprise figure, actually. I completely forgot that he kind of came out this year. A little bit. But I was reminded of him, and I think that he's a great figure. If I had to make one specific complaint about him, I wish he had heels, because my figure keeps falling over because he doesn't have any heels. And that's the only problem. Outside of that, this thing is great. Great transformation, great look. And, you know, it is the only Bayverse representation this year, so it just had to be on here. But I actually think that this figure is very good. So, next up, 22. So, coming in at number 22, we have Transformers Studio Series 86 Deluxe Class Little Old Bumblebee. Another figure that I wasn't expecting to make this list, but as I was going through my list of all the figures that I bought this year, yeah, this is actually one that I had a lot of fun with. Now, this one isn't higher on the list, because number 1, there are better figures on this list, and number 2, he is a bit of an ask in terms of price, because he is a little guy, and unlike Cliff Jumper, who comes with a bunch of stuff to kind of justify the price point, here, you kind of need to find your justification in the engineering, because the only thing he really comes with is that tiny little pistol, and that's it. But I think he's great. The transformation is great. He looks great in both modes, and the fact that he has the chibi vehicle is absolutely fantastic. The only issue that I personally have on my copy is the fact that he doesn't necessarily want to stay together all that well, as you may have seen in the review if you did check it out. And if not, you can go into the link in the description down below, and hopefully if I did everything correctly, there will be a link there for this figure as well. But overall, big fan. So next up, 21. So coming in at number 21, we have the Transformers Legacy United exclusive Voyager class Cyberverse Universe Tarn. the exclusive from the set where everyone just hates Cliff Jumper, mainly Prime Cliff Jumper. Now, I didn't buy this set. I only wanted this figure from the set because, you know, I have watched Cyberverse and I would like to collect some figures. And the Cyberverse toy line is full. So when I saw that the site that I like to use to buy these figures actually had this guy separated, when the set comes out, they separate the figures as well and put them up separately to the people who just want a specific figure, like me. And also because of the fact that that Cliff Jumper was the eye catcher, and there was someone else also that was kind of an eye catcher, Tarn's price point actually got pushed down to the deluxe class price point. And that is definitely what made him have an official spot on this list. Outside of the fact that he has a really cool transformation. He looks really cool. I like the colors, very vibrant colors. And he looks great in robot mode and vehicle mode. The fact that I got this guy for deluxe price point already sets him up to be like already on this list. Because he is most definitely worth it at deluxe class price point. Now, he is getting a re-release. Now, not this version, but the comic version of Tarn is getting a re-release from the Legacy Evolution line in the 5th wave of Legacy United. That comes out next year. So if you want this figure, I would highly recommend it. He's a great figure. So coming up next, 20. Coming in at number 20, we have the Transformers Studio Series Leader Class Optimus Primal from the movie Rise of the Beast. Now, I know that this is a figure that technically came out in 2023. However, I didn't get him until January of 2024, so he counts. And the one that you have to thank for that is actually Mirage from Rise of the Beast, because that one took forever to come out. But this figure makes my list. He isn't as high as some people may want it, because there's a lot of love for this figure. However, my main issue that I have to say is the fact that the robot feet are sticking out on the back of the legs of the ape mode. That is the main issue that I have. Outside of that, I think this thing is so good. The fact that he even had time to pick up Optimus Prime's axe and give it to him, my goodness. Because this thing comes with the axe for the Rise of the Beast Optimus Prime from Studio Series. Absolutely fantastic. I think that this figure is so well done. The paintwork, the transformation, both modes look good outside of them, you know, the feet hanging off the back of the monkey. Outside of that, this thing is great. So next up, 19. Ah boy, here we go. Number 19, we have Transformers Studio Series Rise of the Beast Wheeljack, or as he is more known in the fandom, Pablo, baby. Yeah, this thing makes my top list of the year. Of all the figures that I got this year, I picked this guy to be on the list of figures. It's insane to me, but it still happened. I think that this figure overall is really fun, and if you watch my video, linked in the description, hopefully, I actually figured out during the transformation how to do the transformation better, and that made me absolutely fall in love with this figure. Also, I like the new take on Wheeljack. The only issue that I have are the door wings. They are inaccurate to the movie. And the other issue that everyone has, but that's not really with this figure's fault, that is more the character model, is the head isn't really Wheeljacky enough. He doesn't have the thing sticking out the sides of his head. But outside of that, I think overall this is a great figure. I've had a lot of fun with him over this whole year. So that's why he's at number 19. So next, 18. So coming in at number 18, we have the Transformers Studio Series Dark of the Moon Leader Class Shockwave with wheelie brains and a paratrooper as well. Man, what an improvement this is over the original Dark of the Moon Voyager class figure. It's so insane that they were able to get him so accurate. I really like this figure. If I had to mention a problem that I have with the figure, it's the thing sticking out the back of his feet. I don't really know how they are supposed to be positioned, and also sometimes he has a little bit of stability issue, as in he likes to fall backwards. So the things on the back of his feet, they don't really count as heels necessarily. But sometimes he just likes to fall backwards. And also, what I actually dislike is brains and wheelie, because I kind of wish that they had a little thing under their feet so they could actually stand. You know how they do that with figures. They got a little bit of plastic under their feet so that they can actually stand. They didn't do that here, and I don't like that. But outside of that, this figure is absolutely fantastic. And also the fact that it takes from the Revenge of the Fallen Studio Series Megatron and improves upon that as well, because for me the legs sometimes don't like to connect, but on this guy I don't have that issue. It's absolutely perfect. And to anyone wondering, this guy, according to leaks, is actually gonna be re-released next year as well for the Studio Series line. So if you have not yet picked him up, don't pay Don't pay those eBay prices. Oh, no, wait. It's not leak. It's actually confirmed. Sorry. I apologize for the little misinformation. But it has been confirmed that Shockwave is coming out next year for a re-release. And if you haven't gotten this guy yet, I would highly recommend you get him, because this thing is absolutely fantastic. So, next up, 17. Now, you know this guy had to make the list. I've loved this thing ever since I got it from the Transformers Legacy United Autobots Unite, I think it was called, 5-pack. This thing was an absolute standout, and that is specifically because of the transformation. The transformation on this thing is absolutely fantastic, and I really love the way that this guy twists and turns to get into the vehicle mode. Now, because of the fact that this is not the original mold, there are gonna be some small issues with this figure. However, I would rather have those issues than all the clear plastic that the original mold came with. But overall, I think that this thing is fantastic, and if you can, do yourself a favor and pick this guy up, because he's definitely worth it. What a fantastic guy. 16. Coming in at number 16, we have Transformers Legacy Leader Class Transmetal to Megatron. Another very surprising hit for myself, and one that officially has made this list. Back in the day, actually, when I first got this guy, I knew this guy was definitely gonna make this list. If not, he was gonna be number 24, but he was never gonna go higher than that. He was never gonna be number 25, as in off this list. He was always on this list. I think that this guy is overall great. Now, my only real complaint that I have is the back and the head connection. Because if you tab in the back, at least on my copy, if I tab in the back, the head disconnects. And if I tab in the head, the back can't connect. Because it's either one or the other. I don't like that. I think that that is dumb. However, outside of that, I will say that this thing is absolutely fantastic. And yes, I put him in Dragon Mode for this image because of the fact that, well, look at him. What a beautiful beast. And the way that he also does the claws on the chest is so good. They're the real claws. He doesn't fake them. I really like this thing. So next up, 15. Coming in at number 15, we have the Transformers Legacy, I think. HasLab Victory Saber. This is the HasLab collection. I got this thing this year and also reviewed it this year, as all reviews are in the description down below. And I think that this thing is absolutely great. I'm a big fan of this guy. I know people aren't really the biggest fans of him. If I had to make one specific complaint, it is the price that I paid for him. Because 400, he is definitely not worth it. It was 300 something, but still, that is not worth it. If you can find this guy for like 150, pick him up. He's great. I think that he actually looks really cool, and I have heard people, as in I don't own the figure, but I've heard other people who do have both figures say that this thing is better than the Masterpiece. However, another issue that also kind of exists is the fact that he's so exclusive because of the fact that he wasn't HasLab, that it's going to be very difficult for people to pick this guy up. But overall, I think that this guy is great. So next, 14. Coming in at number 14, we have the other HasLab and the Nemesis to Star and Victory Saber, Death Saurus from Transformers Legacy Evolution HasLab and also Transformers Victory. I like this thing. I like this thing a lot. If I had to make a big complaint, I have one big complaint actually, and that is the fact that he doesn't really connect well to his throne. Getting him connected to the throne is something that is really difficult to do, because there's not like a tab that like holds it all together. It's just you have to slide him in there and hope he stays. That is my biggest issue. Outside of that, this set is great, and I got it for a much cheaper price than Victory Saber, so to me this is a lot more worth it. I am a big fan of this guy. However, there were just better figures released this year that I would put over this guy. So next up, 13. Coming in at number 13, we have the Transformers Dramatic Capture Series Soundwave, which is the re-release of the War for Cybertron Netflix exclusive Soundwave that actually turns into the, you know, tape deck that he's supposed to turn into, instead of that weird thing that the Siege one turned into. And I know this one was re-released as well for the Legacy United one, and I don't have that one at the time of recording this. And I've been in love with this figure ever since I got him. He is really good. Now, is he perfect? No. Under the arms, he still retains like the Siege guns that he has, and also the back of the tape deck mode is also kind of annoying in a way, where it's like the arms are basically just hanging off the back. But outside of that, I think that this guy is great. I've had so much fun with this guy over this year. And also, I've had him for a long time, and he has not yellowed yet. which seems like that has been kind of fixed. So I'm happy about that. So if you don't have this figure yet and you want this figure, I would recommend the Legacy United Leader Class Soundwave. It comes with Ravage, Buzzsaw, and a recolored Rumble. Highly recommend. Next up, 12. Coming in at number 12, we have the Transformers Studio Series Revenge of the Fallen Leader Class. Jetfire is his name indeed. Now, this is the knockoff. I forgot the name of the knockoff, but I don't really care. But this is the knockoff. I want to preface that. And I think that this thing is absolutely fantastic, whether it's the knockoff or the real one. Now, I got the knockoff for a cheaper price than the real one would have cost anyway, under Leader Class price point. But I think that this thing is absolutely fantastic. I just hate that he was so difficult to obtain. Now, they did release a set for this guy that comes with Optimus Prime and also comes with Chromia RC and Elita 1. And if you can still get that set for a good price, I would highly recommend it on this guy's basis alone. The connectivity to Optimus Prime is also really good. And since I got the knockoff, I also have like knocked off third-party stuff, so I can make him look even better. But overall, I think that this thing is absolutely great. I love the jet mode outside of the big head poking out the bottom. I also love the robot mode. He looks so much more accurate than that original Leader Class figure, which was difficult to transform, but I did it for size comparison, and maybe one day I'll look at that guy as well. But overall, this guy is definitely worth it. So, next up, 11. Coming in at number 11, we have the well, not necessarily, APC Toys' Night Countess, or Transformers Prime, kind of first edition, but not really, because there was never a first edition figure of this character, but first edition Arachnid, based on her appearance in Transformers Prime, and this thing was also a big hit for me. I'm a huge fan of Transformers Prime, and I very much hate, and I mean hate, that is an actual with a capital H, this original figure from the Transformers Prime Robots in Disguise toy line. That deluxe class is awful. I think it's god awful, and I hate it with a passion. So when I was kind of looking around for Transformers Prime figures to buy, and I saw the fact that ABC Toys was doing a bunch of them, I was like, why not just go around and just buy what they got, even if I already have an Arachnid? Doesn't matter. I wanted this one the moment that I saw it, and I am, for the most part, I'm not disappointed at all. Because the only thing that I have kind of an issue with is that her body looks a bit weird because of the proportions, but outside of that, everything else is great. I also love that she can do her spider mode, the iconic spider mode. This thing is just overall great. However, it is kind of like a third-party figure, so quality may vary. I got this one also for a very good price point, so I'm very happy with my copy. Absolutely fantastic. So next up, 10. We made it to the top 10, baby, and we're starting this off with Transformers Prime First Edition Deluxe Class RC. Well, the knockoff version of her, but I forgot the knockoff version's name. I think it was something like Angel Engine or something like that from APC Toys. Yeah, I'm a big fan of Transformers Prime. I also see that in this image, the wheel did not want to stick to the place that it's supposed to, which is my biggest issue. On one side, the wheel for the back of her leg doesn't want to stay in place. I love this thing. I think this thing is overall really great. I'm a big fan of Transformers Prime, so obviously I wanted this figure because the other RC figure, while not being terrible, has one big issue for me, and that is the shoulder wing things are way too long, and on this one they are good enough. However, the only thing that I kind of wish that APC Toys did was make this smaller. I wish they made her smaller because of the fact that would have scaled better with the other Transformers Prime figures, but since scale wasn't really part of it back in the day, and this is arguably the best RC compared between the two, First Edition and Robots in Disguise, I guess. Prime Robots in Disguise, I need to preface that because there's so many Robots in Disguise. I had to get this one, and I'm a huge fan of her. Also, another issue that I have is the gun shit that she comes with. They don't really like to stick in her hand. They like to fall out of her hand. I don't like that. I kind of wish that APC Toys figured out a way to make them get into the hand and make it look good. But maybe that's a bit too much to ask from a knockoff. But overall, very much highly recommend it. If you can find this one for a good price, pick it up. So next up, 9. Guess we're not leaving the knockoff land soon enough. Coming in at number 9, we have Transformers Prime First Edition version Voyager Class Bulkhead, or APC Toys' Bulkhead, or whatever his name was. I think he was actually from AC Toys, which that's confusing as can be. But yeah, the knockoff of First Edition Bulkhead. Well, these First Edition figures are very, very good. I'm a huge fan of this guy. If I had to make a complaint, it is the hole in his stomach area, I guess. They're trying to make it look like he's fat like he is in the show. However, he has like this big hole in his stomach, and that looks a bit ugly. I know that there are ways to remedy it, but still, it does look a bit ugly. But outside of that, this thing is great, so if you can find him for a good price, I would highly recommend him. Next up, 8. Coming in at number 8, we have Transformers Studio Series Leader Class 8, well, Studio Series 86, Leader Class Grimlock. And of course, when Grimlock was bought, you knew he was gonna be part of the top list of the year. This thing is great. The only thing that I don't like is the wheelie that he comes with, especially because after this figure came out, they released the core class line with wheelie. So that wheelie feels really redundant. Unlike the Daniel Witwicky that comes with Slug, this thing is just ugly. I don't like it. And I also hate the fact that these little figures, also Daniel Witwicky counts for this as well, the fact that they can't pose. I would have liked it if he had like a little bit of posing so that you could at least get him standing, but you can't. So that is absolutely terrible. And I really just wish that Grimlock just came with his sword and his crown instead of that little guy that I just don't like. But overall, I'm a big fan of this figure. It's Grimlock. How can you ruin Grimlock? You can't, otherwise you are dead. Next up, 7. We have a big one here, boys. The Transformers War for Cybertron Siege Titan Class Omega Supreme. One that I got towards the end of this year. And one that I haven't stopped falling in love with ever since I got him. He is absolutely fantastic. The way that he transforms, the way that he kind of combines to become the big robot again. Everything about him is just really, really good. And yes, my copy did not come with the blast effects, but I don't really care. If I'm being honest here, I couldn't care. Because the fact that it just doesn't matter at all. I don't really like blast effects. But outside that, this thing is great. However, the main issue I feel like people are going to have with this thing is the fact of the price point. It's a little bit steep. So a lot of people are probably not going to be able to get this guy, sadly enough. But he is great. Now, he is at number 7 because there are 6 other better figures. So let's just get into those. 6. Coming in at number 6, we have the Transformers Prime First Edition upscaled to, I guess, Voyager class or even Leader class because he is actually pretty tall. Megatron! And also, yes, this is a knockoff, once again from ABC Toys. And, see? They can do upscaling. Why couldn't they just downscale Arachnid and RC to better fit with the accuracy stuff? However, I think that this Megatron is absolutely fantastic because the original Megatron was fine enough outside of, you know, the gimmick gun that he had. This one's arm cannon is so much better. But outside that, the original figure was fine. However, compared to the first edition Optimus Prime figure, he's a bit small. Because he's supposed to be in scale with the Prime Robots in Disguise Voyager class Optimus Prime and not the first edition. And the RID Prime version is shorter. So since I got that Optimus Prime, I needed a new Megatron as well. And I am so happy with this guy. The only issue that I have is the shoulders being like sticking out too far at the bottom of his jet mode, meaning that he kind of wobbles when he is in jet mode. But to be honest, a jet, in his defense, a jet is supposed to fly, so that kind of remedies it. I think this figure is overall great, and the fact that he comes with the Dark Star Saber as well, and the arm blade, I don't know why you got 2 of them, but the arm blade is just absolutely fantastic. So, on to the top 5. So, coming in at number 5, we have tomorrow's review, the Transformers Beast Wars again, Voyager class, Dinobot, that came with the 2-pack, who, I forgot who the other one in the 2-pack was. I remember that 2-pack being absolutely spectacular though. But yeah, that one. However, that is the re-release and the repaint, I guess, of the original Kingdom Voyager class Dinobot, the elusive Dinobot that everyone wants. And I think this thing is overall so good. It is such a good figure. It might actually be my favorite figure on the Beast Wars shelf. This thing is fantastic with the way that it transforms, the way that it poses, the way that it looks. The only real issue is the Dino mode, but to be honest, those are always gonna have some kind of issue because you can't do it perfectly. And since Dinobot is my favorite character in Beast Wars, he also got a little bit of bias from me, but I'll never admit to that outside of what I just did. I think this thing is absolutely fantastic. And if you can get one for a good price point, I would highly recommend him. 4! So coming in at number 4, we have another one from the Dramatic Capture series set. We have the Leader class, Voyager class. I don't know what to classify this as. Shockwave from that set. I'm a big fan of this figure. This is such a good figure. And also, I'm a big fan of Shockwave. Now, I have the gun mode, I guess, image up here because of the fact that I forgot that I mistransformed him for the thumbnail way back in the day. And I'm using thumbnail images, so you're gonna get the gun mode. But the fact that he can do the gun mode is just so good. Makes him so much better. Now, since this is technically originally a Leader class figure, he has a lot better articulation and paint and detail and all that stuff compared to regular Voyager class figures. But I don't care. I didn't get the Leader class. I got him with the Dramatic Capture series set, which I thought was absolutely worth it. And now I'm kind of starting to regret it only a little bit, because there's still 2 figures that make this set worth it. This one and Laserbeak, because there's no other way for me to get Laserbeak. But I think that this thing is great. The Soundwave was great. The Laserbeak was great. The Megatron was garbage. Overall, I'm happy that I bought the set. And I love this thing so much. The way that he looks. The only kind of issue that I have is more with like a transformation thing. I kind of wish that the front of the gun could do kind of like an inside out transformation, where the inside is purple and the outside is white, and you could just like turn it around, because in the show when Shockwave is in robot mode, he has a purple backpack, but that backpack becomes the front of the gun, and that one when he transforms is white. So I kind of wish they could have done something like that. But outside of that, what a fantastic figure. Top 3, here we come. 3. So, coming in at number 3, you had to guess that this thing was on this list. Come on. We have the Transformers Legacy United Titan class Tidal Wave from Armada. As a huge Armada fan and someone who grew up with Armada, this thing is perfect. It is actually my favorite of the Titans that I have, even though he is also the shortest of the Titans. But I love this thing so much, because in the show also, Tidal Wave kind of like did some weird stuff in order to combine with Megatron, who is way smaller. And I love the fact that this figure has like little pieces that you can like take off and attach to Megatron, so he can technically combine with Megatron. Oh, this thing is great. Outside, the only thing that I wish that those little things could do was make like a tiny wave. I guess like a tiny wave. Tiny wave. But that's it. That's the only thing that I wish. Outside of that, this thing is so good. I love it. I love the way that he transforms. Sadly enough, he couldn't do the whole transformation without separating himself. Unlike the original, who can do that. He can actually become the gigantic battleship without separating himself. But this thing has so much more articulation. Actually, not as much more as you may expect, because that one was very much articulated as well. You could do a lot with that Tidal Wave. It's surprising. From a figure of the early 2000s, that thing has posability you wouldn't believe. But overall, I think that he is great. And also, I love the fact that he is in the actual series colors, unlike the, Armada one, which is technically in video game colors. So Hasbro, if you want to do a funny thing, you can actually re-release this thing and make it like a gamer edition. Tidal Wave in like video game colors based on the game on the PlayStation 2. You can do a funny thing with that. I'm not gonna buy it, but you can do it. So, only 2 remain. 2. Alright, people, here we are at the top 2. Now, these 2 figures, I could have switched out with each other. Like, 1 could have been 2, 2 could have been 1 easily. I had to make a choice. It was a really difficult choice. I really had to think hard on these 2, on which one was going to be number 2 and which one was going to be number 1. But I have decided to make it the Transformers Prime First Edition Optimus Prime knockoff from ABC Toys. I think that this thing is overall really good. That model is really difficult to turn into a figure, as you can see with the Transformers Prime Robots in Disguise Voyager class figure, which isn't all that good. But the fact that this thing looks so accurate to the show, it's insane. And also the fact that this guy became the kind of like the skeleton for future Optimus Primes. Even to this day, they kind of still use some of his transformation, especially with the Bayverse Optimus Prime, with the arms becoming the front of the truck thing. That is the same transformation that this guy does. And the fact that the truck bed looks really good as well. The fact that he looks good in both modes, and also poses overall really good. But since it is a knockoff, I could not have given it the number 1 spot. Also, I love the fact that he comes with the Star Saber, but I couldn't have given him the number 1 spot, sadly enough. Otherwise, this guy might have actually been the #1 spot because I am a fanboy of Transformers Prime. I'm not gonna deny that. I will fully admit that, just like with the last one with Transformers Armada. Huge fan of both of those, but this thing comes in at #2, which means we have only one figure left. #1! So, here we are. And of course, it has to be you. The Transformers Studio Series 86 Commander Class Optimus Prime. Now, like I said, I was gonna give it to the Transformers Prime figure. If it wasn't a knockoff, I probably would have given it to him. Because I like him slightly more than I like this thing. But this thing is so good. Probably the best Optimus Prime we're ever gonna get outside of like Masterpiece. And even then, the Masterpiece does some bad stuff as well. Because people complain about this guy having a backpack. Well, what does MP44 have? Also a backpack, and he is like 10 times the price of this thing. I am a huge fan of this thing. I have been transforming him back and forth ever since I got him, and he is just so great to transform. It is like an event. I love the way that he also gets rid of the silver stripe on the side when he goes into truck mode, like the animation model does as well. I love that stuff because the other Optimus Primes haven't really been able to do that. And the only other one that is able to do it is the Gamer Edition Devastation Optimus Prime coming out next year, who looks like garbage. So, yeah. Overall, I think this guy is great. He comes with a lot of great stuff too. Roller, his trailer, and everything else. But the way that he transforms is just so good. So you, my friend, are my figure of 2024. I'm a huge fan of this thing, like I already said. And that has been my list of the 24 best figures of the year. I had to go through them fast in order to kind of keep the time of this video down. This video might be about half an hour long, who's to say. But this year has been a very good year for some figures and a very bad year for other figures. Like Sandstorm's chest not wanting to pack in. The feet from Springer just making him fall backwards every single chance that he gets. Because they don't stay into place. They just, at least on my copy, he keeps falling backwards. Otherwise, he might have actually been on this list as well. But overall, we had a really good year of Transformers figures. I've been very happy with it. And also, I have been very thankful for all the support that you guys have shown me over the course of 2024. Thank you all so very much. At the moment, let me grab it here. Let me grab my phone. I'm sitting at a total of 334 subscribers. And I get some comments sometimes. And I would like to thank you all so very much for all the support you have shown me. Even on the non-Transformer stuff, Dragon Ball Daima reviews are doing actually pretty well. And I have a lot of non-Transformer stuff also planned for next year. However, we are not gonna be done with Transformers, obviously. Next year is gonna be a year full of more figures and combiners as well. Which, later on in January, you're gonna figure out how I'm gonna do combiners moving forward. But I would like to say thank you all so very much for all the support you guys have shown me. You guys are absolutely the best. And gals, of course, even though I don't know how many women watch my videos. But to any woman who does, thank you very much for watching my videos. To all of you, it means everything to me that anyone watches any of my videos. This is usually the kind of outro that I give to the Let's Play when the Let's Play is finished in the final part. But yeah, it means the world to me that anyone watches, likes, subscribes, or comments on any of my videos. Even though, you know, I am not like a million subscriber channel, I am still very thankful for how good the growth has been. And I have a lot of plans coming next year as well, outside of Transformers, as I have already stated. And also, I'll make a little announcement. I have already announced this in other videos, but I thought I'd do it one last time, I guess. We are gonna be dropping from 3 Transformers reviews a week on Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday to only 2 on Tuesday and Saturday. Now, if you are going to be disappointed by that means that you weren't here for the early parts of this channel. Because I made a post. I made a little post on my channel 5 months ago talking about the fact of the new thing. And that is, so how about from next week until the end of the year, we'll add another review every week on Thursday. Sound good? Because that's what's gonna happen. 3 reviews a week. And then obviously the whole thank you for all your support, liking, commenting, subscribing, all that kind of stuff, watching, everything. Thank you. But yeah, that was until the end of the year. Well, we are at the end of the year, so I'm dropping that. Because my original plan for this channel was going to be, I was gonna do a Transformers review every Tuesday and Saturday, and then every Thursday I was gonna do either a movie or a TV series review. Well, after a year of work, I have finally been able to make that a reality next year. So starting upcoming Thursday, I will be doing the Marvel Cinematic Universe reviews every single Thursday, starting, obviously, with Captain America, the First Avenger, on the 2nd of January. And after that will be Agent Carter Season 1 on the 9th of January, and so on and so forth. And the only time when there is going to be an actual break is when there is going to be a new movie review or a TV series that I like, or just series in general that I like, has finished up. For example, towards the end of January, I think it was, is when Creature Commandos is going to be calling it quits. Which means that I gotta make a video on Creature Commandos, so that one will be coming out instead of, like, the next Marvel Cinematic Universe review. And also in February, we have, like, Captain America Brave New World. In May, I think it was, we have, like, Thunderbolts. Also in May, maybe. Potentially in May as well. We also have Daredevil Born Again. During the summer, we have Superman, whose trailer came out recently, and it just makes me cry with how beautiful it is. I'm super excited about that movie. But also, we have Fantastic Four, The First Steps as well. So, well, some of those things are MCU. Not all of them are, and they will potentially not even upload on Thursday, depending, of course, on when they release and when I get to see the movies. So I hope you guys aren't too upset about that. I mean, to be honest, I did announce it 5 months ago. If you didn't see it, I'm sorry. But I have a lot more stuff planned outside of that as well. I am doing the Daima review still, which are not going to stop anytime soon. However, the Daima review that was supposed to go up yesterday did not go up because of the fact that, well, as you may know, as I have said already, I am not at home. As you are watching this, I am at my mom's place celebrating Christmas and celebrating the New Year. So I literally can't record. So I am recording this on the 20th of December. But I have so much planned. I also have already started some recording for a future series that I would like to do, which I'm not gonna announce yet. That will all come in time. But it will be premiering on March 31st of next year is when the new series will be premiering on this channel. Very excited about that one. I've already put a lot of time into it, and I just gotta put way more time into it in order to get that bad boy ready. But the Transformers are going nowhere because there are still gonna be Transformers reviews on the Tuesday and on the Saturday, and unboxings of Transformers figures. We'll even talk about maybe some reveals or something like that for next year. I am super excited for 2025 and all the content I can give you guys. However, I'm gonna call it a day here, so I would like to once again thank you all so very much for all the support you have shown me over the course of 2025, and here's to 1,000 subscribers before the 1-year anniversary on March 15th or 16th. I always kind of get confused how that works, but I'm very excited about that. So thank you all so very much for watching, and I hope you guys have enjoyed. And if you did, please like button, subscribe if you're new, if you've done so already, turn on notification, and don't forget to check out my Let's Play channel. Link in the description and at the end of the video. And I'll see you guys tomorrow for the review of, well, Dinobot, which I guess I'm just gonna spoil right now. So if you click the link in the description about the Dinobot, it's not gonna work because that video won't be live yet until tomorrow. So hopefully you guys will check that out, and hopefully you'll join me in 2025 for a bunch more reviews and other things. Bye!